double Michelin-starred London restaurant, Hibiscus. It's the brilliant Claude Bosi. Great to have on the show, Claude.
Thank you very much.
Now, this dish is a risotto with no rice. So tell us the name of it then.
I got a customer who called it a nosotto.
A nosotto.
But it's it's quite interesting. But it's the celeriac with the celeriac as base of the rice.
Yes.
You're going to peel the celeriac. With the skin, we're going to make the stock to cook the risotto.
Yeah.
You got some English winkles to finish it, a bit of meat juice, some mascarpone, some parmesan, as a classic parmesan.
And that's it. We're going to finish off with this.
The pomelos.
Exactly. And you want me to get on and do the celeriac? Now, we're going to use the entire lot of this, even the skin for the stock. So
I find the skin having a lovely nutty flavour when you...
Right. Now, your restaurant's famous for doing, obviously, double Michelin star, but famous for utilising veg in a different way, really.
Yeah, I love vegetable.
Because I was there last week, and you do a dish with tamarind. It's incredible, sort of.
Yes.
A real sort of weird flavour, but just incredible taste to go with it.
It's an inspiration we find in Singapore. I was with Sat early January, I think. I can't remember exactly when it was. And we find this flavour, and I just fall in love with it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. It's a hard dish to do, a long dish to do. It's not a hard dish, but very long. It takes a long time because of tamarind, the shallots and everything. But it's a really, really interesting flavour. You got the sour and everything with it.
Now, as well as loving veg, you don't like lamb?
I hate lamb.
You hate lamb?
That's it. I'm sorry about the lamb from the but I absolutely hate it.
Is it?
I just hate the flavour.
It's never going to be on your restaurant, is it?
No, I don't cook with it.
All right.
I don't eat it. I don't cook it.
Right.
It's that simple. It's the way I see it. If you can't eat it, why cook it for your customer? And there's plenty of other places to do lamb. They can go to Sat.
Exactly.
Hey, we do lamb dressed as mutton.
Yeah.
So they can go to Sat. They have lamb, and no, I just don't like it.
Right. So what have we got in the pan then?
Here we got the celeriac. A bit of salt, a bit of butter, and just get the water coming out of the celeriac. Right. Pomelos, I love that thing. You got a fantastic skin. You can use that skin if you want to. You know, like you make like the orangette.
Yeah.
That skin is absolutely beautiful.
Well, you often get a lot of like sugared, sugared skin like that made out of this as well.
And massive segment.
The candied stuff.
Yeah,
but
you see?
This is instead of using wine you're going to use this for, is it?
No, instead of using wine is what you're prepping here.
Right.
With we're going to make it like a puree, a very simple puree. When it's finished, we're going to mix it with some vinegar. So you put the celeriac in it.
Yeah.
Put the juice and you cook it. Not a lot. Make sure your stock is hot. Just like a basic celeriac, basic risotto.
So the idea is we've got the skin for the stock.
Yeah.
The dice there we're going to blend into a puree, and then you've got the very, very fine dice instead of the rice for the actual risotto itself.
And you see the segment of the pomelos?
Just break them open.
Just break them up.
Right.
It's absolutely fantastic.
So I'm going to drain this off. But they are quite sharp, that fruit, isn't it, really? It's quite a distinctive flavour.
Yeah, it's quite distinctive flavour, but it's not as sharp as a grapefruit or as an orange. Most of it's for the texture as well as the freshness it will bring to the dish.
Yeah.
You try to keep the celeriac with a bit of a bite, you know, like you will have with the rice.
Yeah.
You just cook it really slowly. A bit more. When the purees get blitzed, you got the vinegar.
Yeah.
White wine vinegar. If you need a bit of juice, I've got some juice left here.
Now, although sort of classically trained, you take your ideas from all over the world, don't you, really?
Yeah.
We've got different things from the Far East over here.
I love traveling.
Travel's important for you?
Very much so. Very much so. If not, you get used to doing the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
And it's so much thing to see outside of your door, you know,
yeah.
outside of where you live. And I think it's very important to open your eyes, see what's up on the other side. And you see different technique.
Yeah, and so talking of techniques, tell us about these things here, because these have to be prepared in a certain way. So
yeah, the winkles. It's like we prepare it like a snails. I mean, I love them. You boil them first in vinegar to take all the, how can I say that, the impurity of it.
It's like a foaminess.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's not very pleasant. You take all of that off. After that, you put them back in a pan with a broth, a bit of carrot, a bit of onion, and just cook it for 45 minutes. When it's been cooked, you peel it out. And you get the snail like this.
Right.
See? It's got a lovely texture. And
now these are the fresh ones.
Yes.
Don't use the pickled ones for these ones.
You can if you want to build some sharpness, but don't.
Yeah.
You can buy them prep already. It's not too much of an issue.
Right, we've got a puree here, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, another blender.
Yeah, but just one.
Like James on puree duty.
Come on, we could do a master class on mixer today.
Get in there.
Yeah.
So this doesn't take very long to cook then?
No, it's very easy. It's a part of a garnish at the restaurant.
Right,
a bit of mascarpone.
Yeah. Now a lot of people finish. I finish my risotto with mascarpone.
Yeah, just wait. Yeah.
I just find the parmesan it brings it all together, whereas
Exactly,
the mascarpone just helps a little bit.
The winkles, they cook, don't just to warm them up a bit. Plenty of it.
Now you actually serve this in the restaurant as a garnish, don't you? Really?
Yes.
Not really as a dish.
Yeah.
With the was it with cod that you had it?
We cut and truffle,
Yeah.
the old-fashioned. Donc we try to mix the classic where I'm based from, and a bit of a modernity.
Now on your travels, you ask a lot of sort of 2 and 3 Michelin star chefs about on their travels. They say Japan is a place where to go. Would you say that?
Yes. Yeah, because you got the respect of produce, the simplicity of it, and I do believe they got some of the best produce in the world.
Yeah.
And the way they work with it and the way they respect them, it's just fantastic.
Do you think it's the simplicity side of it?
I think it's the purity as well.
Yeah, the purity of it.
Everything's like tastes so healthy. You feel very good about yourself when you eat Japanese food.
I mean, when we gone there with Sat, it was like doing a new apprentissage. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because just the way they work and the way they see the food, everything they do is for a reason. They're not doing it just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
And thank you.
There you go. Right, so at the last minute, have you put any of this in it? Explain to us what you've got
I'm just
in
going
there.
to finish it at the end.
So-
Just to bring a bit of meat.
You've just put a little bit of Parmesan cheese.
Parmesan cheese, mascarpone,
Yeah.
dash of meat juice,
And what is that you've got in there?
chicken.
That's just
meat.
heavily reduced chicken stock.
That's it, yeah.
Okay. So if people were buying that, you'd get one of these tubs of chicken stock. I've showed you how to make
Meat
stock.
juice, yeah, you can get now.
You can get those tubs and just reduce it down and put it in the fridge.
That's it. Mind the cell contents of it.
Do you want this seasoned with a bit of salt or not? No.
Should be fine normally.
Should be fine. There you go. Now, as well as doing all that, you're involved in another venture as well, aren't you, with your brother?
Yeah, I've got a pub with my brother in Wimbledon.
Right.
The Fox and Grey. And he's busy.
busy.
He's really busy there. And yeah, we're just doing good local food, you know, English food. And it's very popular.
Is the lamb on the menu there?
Yeah, because I'm not cooking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, in we go with the herbs. Herbs you use there, a little bit of
Parsley, chive and chervil.
chervil. Yeah,
That's done.
when you're ready.
Okay. Donc you check the texture. You know, you have to be a bit like a risotto in between of it. We got the celery we're going to finish on top of it. Yeah.
Little bit
There was
of
a
puree.
puree, and then you forget the puree again.
Yeah, that's the bit that I made.
Cheers, I made, sorry. Beautiful puree. But that we get you the acidity on the dish.
Now you just put a bit of vinegar in there as well.
Yes, you put the vinegar just to get the acidity of it.
And this is instead of using white
Wine. I'm not a big... I mean, I like drinking wine, don't get me wrong. It's not that way I don't use in it, but I find wine in cooking is not really for me.
There you go.
Voilà, perfect. Pomelos.
And then you've got the little celery tops there. And then this is, you get the sharpness from it as well.
That's it, and the texture a bit.
Yeah. Because you can also make this into a jelly like what you use that agar for as well.
Yeah,
can't you?
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Not too much because after it look like a fruit salad.
Yeah.
Just try to get the balance, and that is the celery leaf, just to get you back to the celery flavor to it.
Yeah, and then finally we've got over here the truffle. The
I'm
seasons
just
are
going
changing
to
at the
shave
moment.
it a bit on top of it.
So I know you want to just put a little bit of that on and some olive
Dash
oil.
of olive oil. That's it.
And then a little bit of olive oil on the top.
Dash of olive oil. That's it.
Remind us what the dish is again?
It's a risotto with no rice and English winkles made with celeriac and pomelos.
Makes my chicken goujons look a bit simple, doesn't it? There you go.
Ah, come on. Cheers.
Claude Claude's cooking is brilliantly playful and inventive, and this dish is a really subtle interplay of flavour with some offbeat but complementary ingredients. So we need a white wine, and a pretty grown-up one at that, something that marries seamlessly a richness with an elegance and a freshness. Now, oak-aged Chardonnay is one option, and if you can't afford Burgundy, then this brilliant value Journey's End Chardonnay from South Africa is a great option. But let's forget Chardonnay for once, and I found us an absolute belter of a wine that's just a little bit different from the norm, like this dish. It's the quite wonderful Cabernet Calude Blanc from the south of France. Dry white wine from Calude is definitely a little bit off-piste. It's grown in the beautiful Mediterranean hills just north of the Spanish border, and it can be made from weird and wonderful grape varieties. This one has Grenache Gris and Vermentino. And what these wines really can be is undiscovered gems. This one's beautiful. It's not particularly aromatic or characterful, but it just smells gently of nuts and warm earth and herbs, which will work really well with the celeriac, the parmesan and the truffle here. And it's succulent and velvety to match the richness of the risotto, but not too much to overwhelm the winkles. And finally, very importantly, it's sort of refreshing and uplifting in flavour, which is what we need for the pomelo, and so the flavours don't cloy. So, Claude, it's a brilliantly original dish, and here's a wonderful wine to go with it that's a little bit different too.